Okay, my bombshellers, we're ready for question and answer number 24. I know, where does time go, right? What three things do you love about your friends? I love when they're honest, even when it hurts. I love when I don't listen to their advice and they still look at me and go, "We told you so, but we love you anyway." I also love that just being their friend is an honor. So, it's times that we share it in good and in bad. It's just like in any relationship. You got to think of the bad, think of the good, and go forward. What three things could you do without? Um, I know that with my PCOS, the weight fluctuates, and I don't need to be told. I also know that um, sometimes it's hard for me to hear, even if it is true. But don't tell me a lie. Don't, sugarcoat it. Tell me the truth. Um, and another thing is, don't talk about me behind my back and then be like, "Oh, you're so wonderful." I don't like that. Okay, next question. What's your pet peeve in traffic? When you cut me off and you give me just about that much room, that's a pet peeve. Just saying. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Hello, YouTube. um, yeah, maybe I share too much. Yeah, maybe I yak too much, but I consider everybody who watches my videos friends. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be watching my videos, you know? What are three words that describe the most perfect kiss? Long, slow, passion. I think those are three perfect words. Which song reminds you of now your almost ex-hubby Mike? Um, when we were together, I always used to hear songs and be like, "Oh, that's us." That's us. And then it's funny because when you break up, some of the songs that you hear and you think, at that time, "Oh, this is our song." And then later on you were like, "No, it wasn't our song." But um, I would say he was trying to give me a huge hint when he told me at one point that Lips of an Angel, I think it's by Hinder, was one of his favorite songs. And at the time it didn't really hit me. But then, heck, he was probably already cheating on me, so I should have been wise. But the blonde in me didn't see it. Can you recall a favorite dessert growing up and who made it? Yes, I can. My grandpa would make banana cream pies from scratch. They were the bomb. You talk about wonderful. Those were just, I loved them. And he did homemade, well, he would do brownies. I don't know if they were homemade or not, but his cooking was just beyond superb. He hasn't done it in a while, so I miss that greatly. Grandma, when she would cook, she'd always rely on Grandpa to help her out. So it was so cute because she'd be like, "Oh, I slaved in the kitchen," and Grandpa would be like, "Who slaved in the kitchen?" Because you knew it was him and not her. But he was the one doing most of the work all the time, but he never let anybody know that. And their relationship was just one in a million. Your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? I can't recall. I don't know if they had Tom and Jerry then, but I always liked Tom and Jerry. And of course, Saved by the Bell when I got older was like the show. Okay. Since you love to read so much, and I'm sure you love to be read to, do you remember what your favorite bedtime story might have been? Honestly, that was too long ago, and no, I don't. Sorry. Since you love to read, we're going on that thing. What was your favorite book growing up? There was this store which was called Save a Lot. I was young, really young, and it was here in Mattoon. And they had like this golden book thing here in Mattoon, where it was like the rack at that store. And I went over, and they were always very expensive books. But I had picked out this one little teeny tiny book, and to this day I don't know what happened to it, but I love that book. And it was a panda, and it was about painting, and it was really cool. And I was like going, "That is just so cool," but I have no clue whatever happened to it. But for some reason, that one I can recall most. Recall your senior year. What was the most fun thing you did? We took a band trip and chorus trip to Washington, D.C. There was lots of problems with that bus. We hit a deer, then we had breakdown. But other than that, that's probably was the most fun thing that I can recall. I was really not one of these drinkers, not one of these partiers, and I dang sure didn't go out and get drunk or anything like that. So, do you untie your shoes when you take them off? I actually have Skechers that are not, you don't have to tie them, you just put them on your feet, and half the time my niece has to get on me because I'm famous for putting my foot in but not my heel. But that's what I like to do. What crazy activities do you dream of trying someday? Oh, goodness. I don't ever want to zip line. Let's get that straight right now. I'm scared of heights, and I think that would just give me a heart attack. I don't ever want to water ski, obviously, because I can't swim. I don't know of any crazy activity that I would actually give a try. I'll be honest with you. I just don't see that happening. What would you not be caught? You wouldn't be caught dead where? I don't go to bars. So I know a lot of people say they have excellent food here or excellent food there, but my grandma was very strict, and she always would say a lady is never at a bar. And a man never meets his wife at a bar. He meets either the next at the bar or his mistress at the bar. Would you ever make a blank? Would you ever make... Oh, sorry, I'm reading it wrong. It's late. Would you ever make the first move in a relationship? No. I'm not saying that I'll ever be in one, remember, but I'm not a fast-moving train, and I was not raised that way. Even though, hormones, they say, take over and all that crap. I'm just not one of these that would be like, take me now, It's just, I don't see that happening in me. Not saying that what's that, Gerard Butler? He's pretty fine. Now, if he was around and, me making the first move, I'm not saying that wouldn't happen. Just saying. Add any word to the dictionary, what would it be and what would it mean? I am famous for making up my own language. Bombshellism, if you will. One of my favorites is Obakeba, and that usually means, okay, let's go. So I would probably add that word to the language. Ooh, I like this one. Go forward in time. What would you want to know? I would want to know when I got to become a mother. That would be my big thing. I would want to know that. Invite 4 famous people. Who would you choose and why? Doesn't say what I'm inviting them to. If I was to invite 4 famous people, let's go with 2 actors and 2 singers. I would go with who was that guy in Sweet Home Alabama that was the husband? He's hot as heck. Probably him. And also Ryan Pavey would be the other actor. Definitely my heartthrob. The Darcy series. You just have to watch Unleashing Mr. Darcy, Marrying Mr. Darcy from the Hallmark Channel. Oh my land, my heartthrob. Which he'll be on next weekend, of course, after my tooth event. And the 2 singers would probably be Easton Corbin and Chris Young. And why? Do I really need to say why? They're all hot. You go on a road trip with any person, dead or alive. Who would you choose and where would you go? Ooh, I mean, you've got a large range of people here. I would say... with any person, huh? You left the field wide open. If it was not famous, I would go with my grandpa probably to Po Folks. And that would be in either Florida or Alabama where they still have Po Folks. If it was with a famous person, if it's an actor, probably Ryan Pavey, and we would go to Po Folks. If it was a singer, we would probably choose Chris Young or Easton Corbin, and we'd go to Po Folks. Can you tell something? I really am craving Po Folks. Be in the movie of your choice. What movie would you choose and what character do you play? Oh, well, hands down, I have always been a Pride and Prejudice fan. Um, and I am definitely like Elizabeth Scott. So I would probably take Cindy Busby's place in the Hallmark Channel series, and I would be in the movie Unleashing Mr. Darcy and Marrying Mr. Darcy. Or I would be Reese Witherspoon in Sweet Home Alabama. Or I would be Reese Witherspoon in Walk the Line. Joaquin Phoenix. Oh boy. But something like that. You have an endless supply of any food. What would you get and why? An endless supply, huh? I'm going to go with Po Folks. I love their food, and I miss them dearly, and I would love to have their chicken tenders, and it's just that their food is awesome. You have to go there to visit them, and I'm really tired, but I'm fighting it. And that concludes 20 questions. Can you believe it? We're going to sing one song, and then I'm going to go work out. There's nothing on TV tonight, so I'm doing okay with time. And then while I work out, I'll do some photos and stuff. There's been a lot of questions coming in concerning my tooth, what's going to happen that day, yada, yada, yada. A lot of friends weighing in with good advice also. So I'm just going to go on the last day that I shoot my videos. Some of you may disagree with what I'm going to do. Some of you may agree. But I'm going to do a funeral for my tooth on Wednesday before, because Thursday's the big day. And I'm also going to do a will in case I pass on. Because I have heard that people sometimes pass away in the dental chair, especially when their high blood pressure goes up through the roof. And, you know, they're having to give me Valium and laughing gas to even touch me. So it's quite an ordeal. But next up is going to be me singing a song, and you don't want to miss it.